Gary Lineker made an 800,000 move from Leicester, north.
Well, a couple of years ago, Eric Nixon walked into Manchester City and asked for a trial. He'd been rejected by a couple of other league clubs. He's been a worthy deputy this season for the injured Alex Williams. Trevor Steven. And Sharp chases on. And it was Power's back pass, which Lineker has turned into a very costly error indeed. You can't take chances like that when Gary Lineker is around. And Paul Power didn't see him. And Lineker's sharp as attack. Everton 1, Manchester City 0, 5 minutes gone. Sharp and McCarthy both misjudging. Stephen, and almost catching Nixon by surprise. The goalkeeper did well to hang on. Poynton initially aiming for Sharp, but both he and McCarthy came underneath the ball. Stephen twisting quickly, and it needed the save. Phillips. Now Lillis. And for Phillips again, neatly constructed, and Davis! How did he not score? He doesn't know. But Manchester City know that a real opportunity has passed them by, and the approach work certainly deserved the goal. But Davis arriving inside the 6-yard area, it needed only a decisive piece of contact. But he could only stumble the ball into Southall. The referee's got to keep a close watch on this particular contest between Sharp and McCarthy. It's McCarthy who's being spoken to here. Everton have another free kick. McCarthy this time shrugs Sharp aside, but this is Bracewell, and Nixon got his hands to it at full stretch. A snapshot really through a congested area, and Everton have had to use their substitute. Kevin Richardson is on for Kevin Sheedy, but Everton have the 1-goal lead in this significant match at the top of the Cannon League, given to them by Gary Lineker after 5 minutes. Everton back in action after an idle weekend, but it was a good weekend for them, with Chelsea losing at home, and a result really that everyone at Goodison Park wanted at Anfield when Liverpool were held by Manchester United. And a mistake by Reid. Lineker, an astonishing goal. Nicky Reid trod on the ball. Gary Lineker proves the value of chasing on even when the cause seems hopeless. And it must have seemed hopeless to him here when Redmond a little tentatively prodded the ball away from Lineker, and Reid trod on the ball. Lineker reacted, and Everton lead 2-0. And Manchester City caught absolutely cold. 2 goals from individual errors from 2 long-serving players at the club. Paul Power gave away the first one, and Nicky Reid the second. Both chances snaffled by Gary Lineker, who now has 28 goals this season and is on a hat-trick. Lillis. So the disappointment of losing Kevin Sheedy again with an aggravation of an old injury, knee ligaments, That's forgotten as Lineker senses his third goal. Nixon could only beat it out. He's already got one hat-trick for Everton against Birmingham City, and of course a hat-trick for England this season against Turkey. Stephen. Poynton can deal with a danger here, but on a night of defensive mistakes, as we've seen, nothing can be taken for granted. Gary Stevens. Lineker, a splendid example for all strikers. Follow in whenever possible. Stephen. And Nixon saw it late. Good handling from Eric Nixon. Stephen letting fly on the left foot. Nixon's a big man, 6'3", 14.5 stone. He dropped quickly then. Here's Richardson. And Power filling the gap between Stephen and Sharp. The danger not yet over for Manchester City. And Nixon tips over inevitably from Lineker. It may be a cold night, but Gary Lineker is warming the Evertonians. And here, the fingertips of Eric Nixon. Bracewell and Stephen doing the plotting at the corner. And it was Redmond who sailed underneath the cross. His family are here in force with some mixed feelings. Some of them are Evertonians. Poynton. Peter Reid's return to fitness will add to Bobby Robson's options when he selects his Mexico squad. McCarthy just did enough. City at the moment having to cope with an aerial bombardment. This time at the corner, Pat van den Hauwe waiting with Paul Bracewell in the near post area. And that was Sharp, and that's Bracewell, and that's Lineker, and it's wide. It could only have been an instinctive touch. But with so much going for him tonight, he'd have really backed it to end up in the back of the net. Manchester City all over the place. Bracewell shot off target, Lineker reacting again. Lineker is onside. It's the hat-trick. City can only hang their heads at the back again. They've been outmanoeuvred by a top-class predator around the opposing goal, who's having a splendid night. Nixon off his line, clinically chipped. It's Everton 3, Manchester City 0. 12 minutes into the second half. All three goals for Gary Lineker. His second hat-trick for Everton. As I say, a snip at £800,000. Bracewell. Here's Richardson, who's slotted in as the good squad man that he is. Stevens. It's a rampant Everton now. Stephen. It's Sharp at the far post. It's Richardson. And again, an incredible sequence. Nixon and fellow defenders denying Sharp, and then Richardson twice. Manchester City reeling. This time Lineker involved as part provider. Sharp unattended, Nixon kept that out. Here's Richardson, blocked by the goalkeeper again. Fantastic work by Eric Nixon. Stephen wanting to take on Power, who was only wanting himself to retreat. This is Sharp, 4-0, and Sharp has earned his. And again, Manchester City found wanting in defence. "14 minutes left, and Redmond took one touch too many. Sharp punished him.